Well, as the kids head off, we are, as I mentioned at the top of service, some of you have come in a little bit after. We have one of our guests, Melody from CareNet, with us. She's going to come up in a moment, and we have a few-minute video to watch about CareNet as one of our missions partners. Hopefully get you guys to know a little bit more about CareNet and how to support beyond our support, or how to get involved, or just how to pray. So we're going to look at that now.
So my story first started last year. I was in a new relationship, and very shortly after us dating, I got pregnant, 4 months in, and we weren't in the best financial situation. I also was, looking back at it, not in the best emotional state. I was talking to my mom. I said, you know what, I don't know if this is for me, and I hope that, God can forgive me for the decision I'm going to make, because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. And so it was a very dark place, very confusing. I searched up different clinics. That's when CareNet popped up. When I first walked into CareNet, I initially felt fear, a little bit of shame. I didn't know what they were gonna say, really, because my decision at the time was solely to unfortunately eliminate the pregnancy. But I got the complete opposite. I remember sitting down with Dana, and I really felt, genuineness from that. I felt concern and the support. And I never felt that before in my journey. So my first appointment was an ultrasound. That's when I found out my due date was actually my birthday. And so it was a really exciting experience, very emotional. I felt very hopeful. I didn't feel confused anymore. They asked me, hey, do you have support? And I said, no, I just have, the life that I have. And she's like, I think that you should really look into getting support. So I was connected to Embrace Grace through CareNet. The first meeting at the church was a very, intimate setting. It was always a different topic every time we met. And it was really nice to hear everybody's story. The support that I received, not only from CareNet, but Embrace Grace and everybody who was connected and intertwined with each other, was support that I've never experienced. I ended up having her on May 13th, Mother's Day weekend, and she's 4 months now. The first moment that I saw Jonah, it was just like, gosh, we made it. CareNet is definitely making a huge impact. They are providing support that I've never experienced, and they're not just there for that season. They want to be there for your journey, and not only for the pregnancy, but they are there for the future. And I'm just very thankful that they were a part of my journey, a big part of my journey with Jonah. She doesn't know, what we've been through. Life is so precious. I'm just very thankful for CareNet for just being an open door that will never close.
This is actually a pretty common story. We actually see this all the time. We have a young woman who's in crisis, who comes in to our centers and is able to see her baby and able to find out resources and talk with a mentor and choose life. So I enjoy these videos because this is a real person that thankfully was willing to share her story, because it's a common story. So my name is Melody Keysweather. I run the Bellevue Center. We are a network of 8 locations on any given day. So I just want to thank you for your continued partnership and support. I think you might all be familiar with CareNet, but I'm just going to give you a few updates and remind you what are the different services that we offer. But we rely on your partnership. We don't accept government money. We don't accept any money from our clients. Everything that we offer is free to them. And so we 100% depend on your support. And so I just want to thank you so much for that, and just tell you that we are just so grateful for our partners. So just as a reminder, what are different services that you'll offer? If you come into a pregnancy center, of course, there will be pregnancy tests and ultrasounds where we're able to date the pregnancy, give them a chance to see their baby, give them some early pregnancy information. We also have our Healing Tide ministry that is for folks who've experienced, women and men who've experienced abortion in their past and maybe need healing from that. We also have Healing Tide for women who have experienced pregnancy loss and infant loss. So we have men's program, and I'll tell you what, I've seen a difference in young men in the last year or so. They have turned this corner, and I feel like they're starting to say, you know what, this is my responsibility, and I'm going to step up. And it's been a change, and it encourages me a lot. So CareNet National is really focusing on men, and we are too in the Puget Sound here, because of course they're critical. They are the #1 influencer for women, of course, and so that's pretty exciting. So we also have a team that goes out and talks to high schools and middle schools and youth groups about healthy relationships, healthy sexuality. We have that. And then my favorite ministry that we offer is parenting. And this is where I think we see the most transformation. So if a person wants to enter our parenting program, we line them up one-on-one with a mentor. We had someone come in just last week. She had been an ultrasound client, and she and her husband had been homeless. They had an abortion in their past. They did not want to do that again. So they did early medical care. We got them some referrals, and then she's in our parenting program one-on-one with one of our sweet ladies that mentors her. And we just saw this transformation. She kind of figured out what to do about parenting, and then they started talking about spiritual things. Somewhere along the way, she and her husband decided to follow Jesus. They're now in a local church. And she was in last week with her little 2-year-old, and just the joy that she exudes, and the child is so darling, and that's my greatest joy, is to see that parenting. So how can you be involved? Well, first of all, we love for people to pray for us. You can get on our prayer team email, and then we have a special one for people who will pray for this critical need right now. So if we have a woman who leaves our door and we're not sure if she's going to choose life or not, we send out a text, and it's called Not This One, and we have over 400 people who agree to pray for her right now. So that is, we start every day with prayer. It's the foundation of everything we do, and so we really covet your prayers. We like money too. If you want it as a church, and as individuals, again, like I said, we 100% rely on donations. So we also have volunteers. We have many, many volunteer opportunities. Kenmore might be closest to you, or Bellevue, I'm not sure, here in Linwood. But there are other opportunities too. And then we also take donations as well. So new or gently used stuff. Every single one of our centers has like a baby boutique, and we have an Amazon wish list where we have everything that we need. So you can get onto that list and donate stuff for us too. So I want to tell you one last story before I go. We had, and I'll be out afterwards. I'll be out there to answer any questions and give you information if you're interested. But there was a young woman, high school student, who found herself pregnant, and she, of course, panicked. This is going to change her life. She didn't tell anyone except for the father of the baby. He thought an abortion would be a good solution. It's logical that he would think that. And so she made an appointment to get an abortion, but before she went to her appointment, she told her mom. And her mom said, "Would you go to CareNet first?" So she agreed. So they came in. They talked through her all the information she needed. They went to the ultrasound, and she saw her baby moving around and heartbeat. And then the mom and the client advocate and the nurse reminded her that this was her decision and no one else's decision, and that she needed to take responsibility for this. So when she left our door, we didn't know what she decided. She was so conflicted. And so this is the point right now where we send out that "not this one" text. There's a baby whose life is in jeopardy. Pray right now. So she went home. We reached out to her a number of times. We didn't know what she decided, and we didn't know for months. And then one day we received 2 pictures. One was of a beautiful baby boy. The other one was of that boy with his parents all dressed up for prom. And so Grandma, mom of the client, grandma of the baby, sent us a note, and she said, "Mom has recovered perfectly. Baby's daddy was at the birth and is really stepping up to this new role. He is actively involved. They plan to marry. All in all, it's a success story, a new life that is wanted and loved despite the obstacles. We have yet to experience all God has done in bringing us this new life. Your services are so important. This could have turned out very differently without a service that prays life into existence. Thank you from the bottom of my heart."